afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are taking out the CBR1000R Fireblade SP. Alright, so welcome to an afternoon here in Alaska. Actually out here in North Pole. Got a group of us just getting ready to roll out. But anyway, this bike is insane. So we got a Stage 1 tune on it by BT Moto, which I strongly do not recommend ever to put on a Honda. Also have acro headers with a SC slip-on exhaust, velocity stacks, and a sprint filter. Anyway, I gotta catch up to the double R up here, give him some hell. But anyway, we're in Alaska today, alright, for this particular ride. We typically, in the summer, we get roughly 24 hours of daylight, alright, give or take a day or two in there. But you're definitely looking at right around 22 to 23 hours of daylight. It's pretty legit. Only thing that is a downside is the mosquitoes up here are like the size of pterodactyls. All right. You would think pterodactyls were extinct, but they're not. You'll also notice a lot of the rides up here that we do, we don't go quite as crazy with bobbing and weaving in and out of traffic too much, because people will call us into the state troopers left and right. It's just insane. God, this bike is insane. Love it. Didn't really fully open her up on that last one. I only got about 150, 145, 150, but still good. But anyway, you'll notice again where I left off at, we get about 22, 23 hours of daylight. Our riding months really, truthfully, are really about May to, if we're lucky, we might get a little ride in September, but we only get about 4.5, 5 months of riding total up here. Once in a blue moon, we might get a late October ride if the weather holds up, but it's probably gonna be right around 45, 50 degrees with that. But as you can tell here, we hit these twisties and turns. All right, we got some good twists and turns up here. Let's open it up a little bit. We got a good turn coming up here. But anyway, a lot of us up here, we will get out and ride literally as much as we possibly can, because it's hard living up here. Eventually, I'll get my bikes and get back down to the lower 48 and call that home, but right now I just have to travel back, and I ride my Ducati V4 down there, which there will be a lot more content with that coming up as well. But yeah, so as we open up on this road here a little bit and have some fun, we get a couple little there goes the norm. Anyway, so we'll get a couple just kind of shady days in here, because the thing we run into up here a lot too is fires. We get a lot of forest fires up here, just because in the summer it gets so dry that literally either a lightning strike, or if someone's doing something that they don't need to be doing out in the wood line, and it will start fires. And I'm talking, it just turns into white haze. I mean, it just literally chokes you. We got a lot of truckers up here. if we were to head the opposite direction than where we're going right now, that would actually take us down to what's called Delta, Toke, and then the Canadian border, which we'll stay away from the Canadian border. That's always a good time going down that way. But like I was saying, then we get into about October. You might get at least one ride in October, and that's when the weather really starts to go downhill. From there, it starts going around 30 to 20 degrees, and then by November, December, we're hitting negatives. All right, and that's with no wind chill. Let's get past this semi real quick. But yeah, we gotta, from there, around January, February, we'll probably hit upwards of negative 40, negative 45 without a wind chill. You add a wind chill in there, and then it's just ridiculous. You go outside and your eyebrows and nose freeze, everything freezes. But this is one of our fun routes we like to take because it's outside of little city limits there. A lot of decent little turns and twists out this way. It's a good ride. It's just riding up here is completely different than what it is in the lower 48. Up here, you could almost call it more small town. Cars get pissed if you start passing them on double yellows, and hell, they get pissed when you pass them on even the passing lanes too. And we get called into the state troopers, and next thing you know, there's state troopers waiting for us like 5 miles down the road. All right, we're gonna open this up a little bit. Now you see me, now you don't. But this triple R, kind of bouncing around subjects here, this triple R is just, it's a wild animal. It is just, you open up this throttle and it just pulls you to the back of the bike. There's just so much power in this bike, and the top end just goes. You definitely want to ride these gears out a lot more on this. Hit that power band, because otherwise you're just cheating yourself on this bike if you don't. But we're coming up towards the outskirts of the Air Force Base here shortly. So we're also stationed pretty much right in between God, I love this bike. Anyway, so yeah, we're basically sorry, let me calm down here a second. We're basically kind of in the middle between two bases for the most part. In the Fairbanks North Pole area, you got Fort Wainwright, which is your active duty Army base, and then Eielson, which is your active duty Air Force base. Just got the F-35s up here. It's pretty interesting. If we turn around and go the other direction, we got Fort Greely, and they deal with missiles down at Fort Greely and some other stuff. Obviously, being this close to Russia, there's literally a little island up north that midwinter you could walk over to Russia. It's that close. It's pretty crazy though. But Alaska is a whole different ball game out here, and it's not an easy way to live. It is really hard to live up here. I mean, not having a whole lot of sunlight for the winter, you're looking at, you start losing daylight. Starting June 21st is solstice. That's the longest day of the year. You instantly start losing daylight after that. It's like roughly a minute a day or something like that. I can't remember right offhand, and then we won't start gaining daylight until after January. And that's when we're on the downhill slope, slowly making our way back to riding season. But oh shit, little bit of a pothole and a death wobble there. That'll scare the crap out of you. Well, I'm gonna cut the video here, guys, but be sure you guys like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, tell your buddies, and get them to like and subscribe as well. And I'll keep on pushing more content as I get it, and pushing stuff out as I can. 515 Ducati V4. Catch you guys next time.